Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And Matt.
And I'm that weird guitar riff that comes in every time Wonder Woman shows up. My name is Landon Down.
I don't know what it sounds like, but I'm just guessing it's like, or is it like, whoop, woo, like in Space Cowboy? Because
if you've seen Batman versus Superman, or Wonder Woman for that matter, it's that same weird butt rock guitar solo riff thing that comes in whenever she shows up. They're consistent, if not anything, in the DC universe with their music.
It's almost like a little chorus behind it. It's like, it's like people like chanting.
Or is it more like,
Nope. No Ghostbusters.
Sorry. Okay.
No, and don't go any further, then we're going to have to buy the license.
Yeah. Though I would watch Wonder Woman versus Ghostbusters.
Versus? Why can't they team up?
That's fine.
Team
I
up.
think she should be against them
Whoa.
at first.
I just had a really good idea. What if there were men Ghostbusters?
Dude.
Whoa.
Hold
You're
on.
getting a little
Hold
progressive.
on.
Hollywood,
Little
are you
progressive.
listening?
I think this is the wrong time and place to be trying to throw something out like that right now, Landon. So it is November the 19th, and I would like to wish you all a happy Life Day. It was this past Friday, November the 17th. We did drop the ball in mentioning that last week.
Darn.
I apologize. I'm going to take that one. That one's on me, guys. That one's on
Good,
me.
because I'm not apologizing for anything.
But the people of Kashyyyk and Wookiees around the galaxy, I would like to apologize. And actually, it's not just for Wookiees, it's for everybody. So happy Life Day to you all. I hope you enjoyed that. And now we're ready to gorge ourselves because this week, you'll be listening to this on Tuesday, so start stretching those stomachs. Two
That's
days
right.
away. It is
2 days.
the annual binge fest that we call Thanksgiving. I decided, by the way, and this is episode 72, I should say, of Nerd News
Are
Cafe.
you sure?
I am sure. I'm looking
Okay.
at it right now.
He's looking at it, guys.
I'm not taking that risk anymore. I don't want to have to do my my awesome, like, transparent
72.
edits. No one can tell I did it, I'm
No,
sure.
it's true. They're very seamless.
But episode 72. No, I've decided that for Thanksgiving, I can't read that at all. My daughter's trying to signal me with like a cue card right now, and I have no idea.
He only reads what's on the prompter.
Yeah, you really think highly of my. Mickey's birthday was yesterday. Thank you
There you
from
go.
the Peanut Gallery.
That's
So
right.
happy birthday!
I appreciate the happy birthday wishes. What you give me? Money?
I'm going to build another vault that I can swim in.
Mickey did actually respond on Twitter. He said thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Did he?
So he did.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Mickey himself. I don't know how he tweets with those big gloved fingers.
Oh,
That would be tough.
they've definitely built him a special phone. I promise you.
Maybe he
that.
does voice to text.
Oh yeah,
or
voice to
something.
text. Yeah.
But anyway, I was going to say I've decided that my new Thanksgiving tradition, when everybody's getting ready to sit down to eat, I'm going to toast. This is going to be my annual toast, and I'm just going to thank the Native Americans who let us push them off their land.
Oh, Jesus.
Let us slaughter them so that we could become the great nation that we are today. So I just really appreciate that. And so here's to the people we stepped on as we climb that ladder of the world. And then we drink our...
I think we should save that toast for Columbus Day.
No. The best part is you're going to wait until that one #MAGA uncle's about 2 to 3 scotches into the meal, and it's just going to set him off and ruin everybody's day.
Hey,
it's going to be fantastic.
Listen, it's not a holiday unless the family breaks out in some kind of fight that says,
absolutely.
that basically ends in we're never going to get together ever again on any holiday.
You're out of the family.
See you at Christmas.
Yeah. See you at Christmas.
We'll see you when somebody dies.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
America great again.
As you can notice, we are at full strength today. We're skating at full strength. So power play is over. Matt, Landon, Justin back again. Check in. Reckon. Let's begin.
Yep.
All right, I'm out of here.
But
Yeah, he's really falling apart.
in order to party on, party people, we're going to bring the noise with our drinks today. So, Matt, whoop, there it is. What are you drinking?
I don't know.
Regret. We're drinking.
Yes.
I think you're
Landon
drinking-
on the nose.
He's drinking crunk juice.
In my Superman cup,
It's very Superman-y today.
I have brought Constant Comment with a splash of honey.
Appreciate that. How is it? Quenching
It's hot, so
Oh, he's taking a little sit. Now he's burning his tongue.
it's good.
Good.
It's really good.
Landon, what are you drinking with your breakfast?
Dr. Pepper. And it's delicious, 23 flavors. So,
One of those flavors is cherry. I'm willing to bet.
I can taste all 23.
Yeah, probably.
I'm having Starbucks coffee this morning, grounded up brewed some this morning. Still good. I'm going to call it Star Wars coffee because guess what? We are 20. Well, actually, as you're hearing this, because we're broadcasting from the past, we're 23 days away from The Last Jedi. So, cheers to that.
There you go.
And it's good.
We're
good.
6 years away from a decision on Star Trek.
They're writing one.
I know they are.
Star
Well,
Trek.
pegs broke too.
Yeah.
They turned one down.
But I know that I did read that Chris Pine was signed on to do another, and so is
Forever.
Spock and
I can't remember that guy's name. I always
I
call
can't
him.
either.
I always call him Siler.
Zachary Quinto.
okay,
Quinto.
thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody on here.
I always call him
knows their
Siler
stuff.
from Heroes.
Yeah, he's Tyler.
Forever.
But it'll be sad to have no Chekhov. But I'm sure we will have.
I don't know how they're going to deal with that.
I think they're just going to ride him out. I guess.
That's okay. I mean, it is the alternate. The advantage of that universe is it's an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Not everybody makes it.
So they said they're not recasting him.
And
that's one thing
I'm
we know
totally
for sure.
fine with that. Yeah.
Very good. So we got the drinks out, and now I would like to introduce a very special guest because yesterday was a special event. For the first time ever, Minecon was not in one location. It was a virtual convention broadcast all over the world, simulcast, I should say, all over the world. There were watch parties. We didn't have one near here, but we did have a watch party of one
There you go.
right here in my computer room because he set up a little command center for himself. But my son, Garrett Kreuzinger, is here today to tell us about Minecon Earth, Minecon 2017. So welcome, Garrett. Welcome to the Nerd News
Hello.
Cafe. Tell us about your experience with Minecon 2017. How was it? Did you like the virtual convention?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. They showed a lot of funny stuff about like llamas and stuff.
Yeah, they brought a lot of humor. Who was the host?
Well, I don't remember his name, but it was
The voice
the
of,
voice of Lego Batman.
otherwise known as Will Arnett.
And
A magician
yeah,
named
that's
Gob.
what it was. And then there was this lady that hosted the first Minecon and a couple other ones.
Yeah, she's been around a lot. She's probably involved in some development aspect. I don't think they just have her around as a host every year. Wouldn't
Is
you
it
say?
Mr. Minecraft's wife?
Mr. Minecraft's wife?
I bet she knows her way around a crafting table.
She probably does.
That's
She crafts-
That's sexist.
She crafts classic style. She doesn't use this.
Everybody has to use a crafting table. Play the game.
How do you train a horse in Minecraft?
You light
Garrett
them
can
on
tell
fire
you.
because that's what I see people usually do to them.
I actually remember that reference.
Yeah. So a lot of exciting announcements, right? So tell us about some of the things you learned from Minecon.
Well, they announced a new update, which was called Update Aquatic.
Okay.
And there's going to be coral, seaweed,
Oh, okay. I thought Walking Dead Coral. I wasn't
Coral.
fish,
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
and there's going to be dolphins,
Yeah.
a new weapon called the Trident, and
And Aquaman.
bubble columns. And there's apparently a lot more stuff that they haven't announced for that update yet.
So is the trident going to be something you can make, or do you have to find one? Do you know?
I'm not sure yet, but it seems like you'd have to find one in Ocean Monument.
I think you're burying the lead here.
Oh, yeah, and there's going to be shipwrecks. I forgot that.
Can
That's
you
cool.
ride a dolphin?
No, I don't think so.
Done with this update.
But if you have the Trident, you can jump like one.
Oh, I was about to say, then you can
That's
ride the
cool.
dolphin.
So you become Aquaman if you
you-
have the
That's
trident.
what I'm saying.
If you're in water, you can propel yourself with it.
Yeah, exactly. You become
I'm back in.
god of the sea,
I'm back in.
Poseidon. So that's pretty cool, actually. So what else did you find out about?
Well, there is a new mob coming that they vote.
Yeah,
There was votes
You
for,
participated in the vote.
Who won?
and it's called the Monster of the Night Sky.
Ooh, that sounds pretty scary.
And if you haven't slept for a while, it will swoop down and bite you.
Jeez,
I like this.
that's pretty scary.
Apparently,
It just
they're
got hardcore.
pretty rare, but if you don't sleep for long enough, they'll swoop down and try to kill you.
I
Wow.
like delusionals.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like it is. It's like if you don't sleep for a few days, you start hallucinating, and that hallucination will kill you.
That's right.
They actually did say during the show, they said, is it real or is it just your hallucination?
Exactly. That's cool. Awesome. I like that a lot.
Did they give word on what that was?
I think
no.
it's up to you to decide.
But they did say it was coming with that update, the Update Aquatic.
Was that your first choice for the new mob?
No, my first choice was this big squid thing that would pull you underwater with its tongue, and then it would suffocate you.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun either.
But Most people didn't vote for that one.
I can imagine why. Yes. I think that sounds very nightmarish for people who are not confident in the water. Right. Myself.
But you got that awesome trident. You could fight back, maybe. I don't know.
What was your second choice?
My second choice was Mob B, which is the one that won.
The one that won. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mob B. I thought it was a rapper. I wasn't sure.
Mob B.
He comes in there and just starts throwing some lyrics, and you're like dodging them.
Now, one of the things that you told me about yesterday that I think is pretty cool, there's going to be a new kind of a streaming game mode where people can watch you and affect what's going on, right?
It was a thing for other games before.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Mixer, and you can stream to it, and people can use energy that they build up to do commands.
Yep.
And they can, like, spawn mobs and, like, flip your face cam.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, this one guy found a chicken, and he was friends with it, and someone spawned a fireball and killed the chicken.
I'm a little bit worried about a guy that's friends with a chicken, but okay. I would have killed it as well.
Hey, everybody needs a bestie. Everybody.
That's pretty cool, though. That sounds pretty fun. It kind of makes me think of...
Populous?
There was a mode in Bomberman, in one of the versions of Bomberman, where if you turned it on, it was called Super Revenge, and if you were one of the first two to die... then you actually got to like drop bombs in on the map and try to kill the people that are still playing. And if you got them with your bomb, it puts you back in the game. So, but I don't think that's what this does. But it just reminds me of that. It's pretty cool. You get to mess with people while they're trying.
The unreleased Fable was supposed to kind of be like that, where you could set up your whole little thing, and then once somebody starts playing through it, you could affect them and change and add monsters and traps and things for them to try to get through.
Apparently, you can even, like, spawn blocks, so if they're, like, doing parkour, you can mess them up.
People are going to get so upset about this.
Oh, yeah. I don't see this as being
But it does sound like it'd be a good opportunity to do your, like, streaming that you like to do. Mm-hmm. Make a video of you getting griefed by people who are watching you.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Garrett, by the way, I know I've mentioned it before. I plugged his channel. He does like to make videos and post them to YouTube in various forms. One of them is game streams. Mm-hmm. So if you want to check those out, that's Gummy Bear.
I think he has a couple plugs actually right now.
Yeah.
Didn't you get a fan page?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah, so he's got a Facebook fan page for Gummy Bear King too. And if there might be more than one Gummy Bear King, but to find Mr. Garrett's, it's the one where he's got a cartoon of himself.
Well, actually, I changed.
Oh, yeah?
I changed
so you're behind
the
now.
YouTube
Okay, what's the YouTube picture now?
To a picture that my friend drew.
But it's still a drawing.
Yeah.
Is it still supposed to be an avatar of you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So look for the one that has the drawing of an avatar for Mr. Garrett. But he's got a lot of cool videos out there. And as I said, I don't want to take all the credit for this, but we did previously plug your trumpet video that you made.
All the credit for this.
And now that's his most viewed video on YouTube. It's like 2,500 views. You're welcome.
I didn't know you plugged that one.
I played it live.
Somebody doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah, seriously. Your kids need to listen to our podcast.
He did alert us that he only reads Nintendo Switch news.
That's right.
That's where he gets his news.
Or at the very least, just subscribe. We still get those numbers whether you listen to it or not.
You definitely need to subscribe.
Yeah, it pops up on the main Google thing because I search Nintendo Switch so much.
Thinking about that Odyssey, aren't you?
Yes.
That's probably number one on his Christmas list right now, Mario Odyssey.
I forgot to tell.
With Killer Cat.
Hey, me too.
Minecon, they also announced an Adventure Time episode that was going to take place in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they showed us a real short teaser of it. It looked, and it was really just the storyboards. They didn't show the animation.
That's good, though.
It looks cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun.
And they showed a couple locations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be a good time. I like those crossovers when the show the cartoons do the crossovers with games.
It said on a sign in one of the locations, "No griefing."
Yeah. So, anything else you wanted to tell us about Minecon, or does that wrap it up?
It kind of it wraps it up.
Okay.
Because they had a musical number, and they talked some about like YouTubers. That's really all.
So overall, thumbs up for the virtual conference. You think it was a cool thing?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Will you attend next year?
Yeah.
It's cool that they made it interactive. Did they give you any kind of downloadable or anything for your?
They did put on the marketplace on Windows 10 and PE and Xbox 3 free things, 2 maps, and 1 skin pack.
Awesome. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. So you got takeaways, you got to participate, and you got to watch it live. Sounds like a good time. I think we should do it again next year. That's what I say. All right. Well, thanks, Garrett. Thanks for joining us. Sign up for Gummy Bear King on YouTube. Subscribe. See you later, man.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
So one of the main reasons I wanted Garrett to join us today to talk about Minecon was because I think that concept of just a virtual conference like that is so awesome. I think that we've talked before about how we're just waiting for our credentials in the mail to go to one of these, maybe a Comic-Con or a Dragon Con or something like that at some point.
Yeah, conventions take the hint.
Yeah, seriously.
We're a good get. I'm not going to lie.
We really are. But absent that, and absent funds to travel all over the world,
there's that.
I think that it's a pretty cool option to be able to do these virtual conferences and be able to participate live. And I mean, every single person got the same experience. Mm-hmm. One thing they did for the Minecon convention this year was that they did do watch parties in various places. So if you were in a place where there was one nearby, you could go. And sometimes they were at like movie theaters and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool they did that. There wasn't one near us, but I just think that I would love to see other, like maybe BlizzCon do something like that in the future.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it was just 90 minutes. It wasn't like an all-day thing. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Speaking on BlizzCon, they do have a virtual pass where they give you a login to a website where you can go watch some of the big, conference presentations, like, what's coming next for World of Warcraft, what's coming next for Overwatch. And they do give you like in-game perks, like you get exclusive skins for Overwatch, pets for World of Warcraft. And DragonCon, to a lesser extent, has a DragonCon TV pass where you can, again, log into a website and watch DragonCon TV and some of the panels, but at the same time, it does seem like Minecon is giving you that 100% full experience, unless you want to go get drunk like you're supposed to at every con. Then I guess you just go to your kitchen, which on that aspect is way cheaper than paying $11 for a 16-ounce beer.
Yeah, I just made sure.
I don't really see. Yeah,
I just brought Garrett a fresh Coors Light every time he needed one. While he was watching Minecon, so
he just kind of clinged his glass.
Was good. He was good. He rang his bell.
You
got to have that true convention experience. And one thing you do dodge, you don't have to worry about getting con crud.
Con crud. Yeah, you might get an ESTD, as I like to call them. If you click the wrong link, you might end up with something like that. But yeah, but no, good, cool stuff, and I just think it's a nice step. I think one of the things too that I like so much about it, the 90-minute duration, it makes it consumable, right?
Sure.
So it's not something where you feel overwhelmed because there's all these all day conventions where you can't take in all the content. So just a pretty cool thing.
Cool 90 minutes is what everybody likes.
Cool 90. You know what? I think that's a nice segue, my friend. I'm going to give you a lot of credit for that because as we transition, let's talk about some headlines. The very first thing I wanted to talk about today was the fact that we have confirmation that Star Wars: The Last Jedi is confirmed to be the longest Star Wars film yet.
Goodness.
You might say, "Oh, Justin, I'm sure you're excited about that." You would be wrong. Because in my opinion,
because it's porkific.
Well, yeah, you're right. You had to have time for all the porg content, but
absolutely.
What I am definitely in the camp of movies do not need to be 3 hours long.
No.
3.5, 4 hours. It's just not necessary. I mean, you can tell a good story in between 90 minutes to 2 hours. I don't think and I know that sometimes maybe a story goes a little past the 2 hour point, and that's okay. That's not a big deal. But I don't think everything needs to be a freaking, commitment of a day to go see a movie. Because what you end up happening, you're going to have slow parts. You're going to have parts that just don't add anything to the story. And I think that it's just ineffective storytelling. And honestly, to me, this is red flag number 2 for The Last Jedi.
Really? You're viewing this as a red flag? I don't necessarily have a problem with it saying it's quote-unquote the longest Star Wars movie because this is just the middle part of a 3-part trilogy. And, I mean, I agree with you in the sense that not every movie needs to be 3 hours, with these long, drawn-out exposition points, and, let the scenery breathe and whatever other stupid cliches you want to throw in here. But at the same time, in a movie that has this much story to tell, I'm okay with it going long because a movie that I saw this past weekend, I felt could have taken some stuff out and still needed more time to explain a lot of stuff. So I don't mind if stories and movies take the time to make the story A, make more sense, and B, flesh it out. And so I'm okay with this being the quote unquote longest Star Wars movie. And plus, it's only going to be the longest until the next episode comes out.
Well, I think that's part of my problem is because this isn't the finale of the trilogy, so the next one's going to be longer. And when do we just make it an all-day event? At one, but like where?
I think that's what we're working up to.
Yeah, that's coming.
So like, and I just don't need that. I think you can tell a clean, concise, engaging story that moves within the confines of 2 hours.
Was Empire more than Hope?
That is a very appropriate question that you ask me, my friend. And you would think that a person such as me would be able to answer that.
I don't think you're the repository of knowledge for Star Wars, and I don't expect you to be. I just wonder if this is just the formula.
A New Hope was 2 hours and 2 minutes. I'm looking up what Empire was.
Okay. 2 hours and 2 minutes, so 122 minutes. Got it.
And then on the flip side, Empire was 2 hours, 7 minutes.
Yeah. So about the same, actually. Just 5 minutes. Give them a 5-minute boost in there. I don't know.
We had some people getting shot at the first, so.
And Empire had Yoda, so you needed more of him.
True. Oh, yeah, he talks way slow. What about Jedi? Do you feel like Jedi had enough time?
I think Jedi had too much time.
You think it was too much? Okay.
And Jedi had a runtime of 2 hours, 16 minutes.
See? So it got longer as they went along.
They are ticking up, and now we get the reports that The Last Jedi is going to be 2.5 hours.
Right.
That's not too much more. That's
Okay, but here, I guess
it's 150.
I guess my point is, if I go to that movie and
that's your day.
But if I go to that movie and I'm sitting there and at any point I'm like,
goes.
No, I'm saying that while I'm there, if I have the thought that we could move along here, like
sure.
All it is to me, it sounds like bad editing. Like you couldn't decide to cut anything, so just include it all. I've got a big hint of something you could have cut.
I'm sure you do. I don't know. That's subjective because what you don't like, somebody loves, and that like you're saying, Jedi was way too long. I'm sure somebody in there wished
too long.
Well, okay, it was too long.
It was just,
and I understand where you're coming from on that. You there were some parts I could have done without myself, but somebody liked them, and somebody really wanted them, and felt like it was a good explanation of what they were really watching. I would imagine. I don't know who.
For argument's sake, The Force Awakens was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
So it's only 15 minutes more than you watched already.
And
Rogue One's probably the more important one, even though it's not related.
So now that you ask, it was 2 hours and 13 minutes. It was 2 minutes less.
So 15 more minutes of content could be a stinger scene.
And honestly, it'd be one thing if every movie prior to it was like a hard 90 minutes, and this one bloats to 2.5 hours. It's staying in the same range that the other Star Trek movies are.
Whoa! That was a party foul, my friend.
Star Treks are a cool 90.
You're on notice.
No, whatever. Y'all can go yourselves. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we got you.
Well, I don't know. And I guess I'm in the camp of I'm probably just being kind of an old curmudgeon here.
I think you're looking for red flags.
Go yell at Porgs more, old man.
I might. Listen.
You're scared.
With Rian Johnson.
We see it.
I'm scared.
We see it. You're scared. It's cool. We've all been there.
Rian Johnson at the helm, and he's going to be the one that's piloting our Millennium Falcon. Well, the Millennium Falcon probably won't be in the new trilogy, but our Star Cruiser of some kind into the new galaxy.
If anything did cross over, that's
blowing up.
Probably the ship that would make it. And now,
I was going to say I totally see the Falcon making it to the new trilogy because that's Rey's new ship.
But the problem is the new trilogy is not going to have these characters anymore.
Doesn't mean the ship won't make it.
And also, it's going to be in a totally. They said it's going to be in a totally different part of the galaxy with people we've never met. So
when did we first get to see the Millennium Falcon?
The Millennium Falcon first came in A New Hope, and it was what a piece.
We didn't
of
get
junk.
In the first.
What
trilogy?
A piece of junk! When Luke went into the hangar,
we didn't get in the first trilogy.
That's what I'm saying. A New Hope. That was Star Wars. 1977.
No, I'm talking about the prequels.
That's not the first trilogy.
That's the first trilogy.
That's the second, and it's not. It's
not in history.
At all. It's not at all.
God, this is like an Xbox One situation.
No, it's cool.
No, the Falcon is not.
So it's not in
the
that one.
prequels.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So can somebody tell me who's on first?
There goes my theory. Is like, is the Star Wars saga about the Millennium Falcon.
No, it's more about R2-D2 than it is.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, he's the storyteller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one that's been around for everything, and his memory's never been wiped like Goldenrod over there.
Yeah, he's the Detective Munch of this universe. He's been in everything and knows all.
Do you know C-3PO is is part of the Mandela effect?
Mm-mm.
Because a lot of people remember him being entirely gold, and he has always had a silver leg.
Yeah, I mean
but people remember him being
in New Hope. He had the silver leg.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
They don't know. What
I know it's mass knowledge, but I know. I thought it was funny that it falls into that. Yeah, they had and of course the one quote from Star Wars that's a part of the Mandela effect.
Well, yeah,
but I think that has to do with what people thought it was.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the one quote,
the one that fits in there. Anyway.
The one where he said, "I know." That's the one.
That's it. A lot of people think he said, "I do."
I do. Love you too.
I do. I'm Carbon.
That's what he said. So anyway, we've talked about it too long.
Let's we have.
We've talked about one Star Wars property. Let's talk about another one. Star Wars Battlefront 2, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, it hit the shelves on Life Day. So
yes,
and there was a lot of people that were ending life for it. They're shortly after.
Their lives are over now.
It was going to be end of life day for Battlefront 2 for some people. But if you remember in our Thursday episode, we talked about how EA listened to the fans and reduced the prices on the in-game purchases of the heroes, which is a big selling point for Battlefront 2 that gives you the option to play as, Darth Vader, Luke, Han, Chewie, all your favorites and the rest.
Jar Jar.
Yes, of course, Jar Jar. But actually, you had to go and pre-order this game at Babbage's. That was a Babbage's.
Babbage's, yes.
So you might not be seeing a lot of Jar Jars out on the battlefield. But the game launches, and then EA makes the at least for me, very surprising decision. They're going to straight up disable in-game purchases with real-world currency. So that means like everybody that was super pissed about what was originally a 60,000 credit purchase for Luke and Darth Vader, you got it reduced to 10,000. They were still pissed the fact that they still might have to buy what they call crystals. EA's like, no, we're going to remove that aspect of it on the day it launches. So that was a very, very, like I said, surprising move from me about EA.
You know what? I love it. And I hope that they suspend it for long enough that it makes a lot of sense that the people who were day one adopters, they're all in the grind together.
Oh, I know.
And then, if they want to bring it back in a couple months down the road and say, well, if you want to catch up and you want to pay some money to do so, fine. That makes sense to me. I'm cool with it.
I was telling you guys before pre-show that this has bled over into some of EA's other games. Their Need for Speed franchise, Payback is the one that's coming out. There was a whole lot of those, in-game purchases, and you had to earn these speed cards to improve your guy in the car, and no one likes this, and the backlash on it was just as bad, and now they've suspended all that and made it a lot easier, and they're actually reformatting how things work in that game.
Good.
So,
I think it's great, and Landon, to go back to a conversation we had on Thursday where you asked me the question, do I think that this was in response to maybe some pressure from Disney? And I told you I don't think so. I really think that they're kind of operating on their own. I might have to backtrack on that just a little bit because there was
a whole pie crow here for you.
Well, there wasn't. Yeah, really. I'll eat some of that crow. Put a little barbecue sauce on.
I can see where you came from.
But no, I mean there was an article, and it's not fact, but there's speculation that Disney really did put pressure on EA because they don't want kind of this sour taste in people's mouths with The Last Jedi getting ready to hit the theaters in less than a month. I personally, in my opinion, they're two separate things.
1,000%.
I wouldn't go and judge EA is trying to steal my wallet. I'm not going to go see
Steal my wallet. That's actually a crate you can get.
I don't see how that would affect anyone's attendance of the movie, but it's possible because Star Wars is the same, property.
I'm going to throw a percentage out there. I'm going to say that would affect 5%.
Maybe.
Of watchers.
Maybe.
But
5% of $1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah, true. I just the people that watch versus the people who game and watch.
I was planning on taking my PlayStation and see if they let me hook it up while I was watching The Last Jedi.
Be a little interactive.
Yeah. Put a little screen in
pre-order canceled.
Pre-order canceled. He just wants to hit X to get through the cutscenes. That's what he's trying to do. I'm not here for 2.5 hours, guys. I'm going to hit X.
Can I fast forward?
Hold R2 to salute.
I'm holding R2 holds a whole different meaning in Star Wars.
He just yells at me.
Holding R2 wouldn't be like a comfortable cuddle. I'd rather hold a Wookiee. But
you don't want to hold a Wookiee.
They might rip your arm off.
Have you ever heard of a Wookiee shower?
I haven't.
Me either. Just letting you know. There's worse things than wet dog.
Ooh, I don't like the thought of that.
Stale smell of the Wookiee.
Yeah. One of the things, by the way, Star Wars Minute's back. I think I mentioned this, and they're watching Revenge of the Sith now.
I'm sorry for
And one of the things that they like to talk about sometimes is what do things smell like, or what do people think they smell like. So they've talked before about, like, what do you think the Millennium Falcon smells like on the inside? I think it smells like wet dog.
I think it smells like an electrical fire. Because constantly stuff is breaking down.
Probably.
God, that's a very descriptive smell, Matt. I got to give that to you.
Just think about it. Every time something's blowing up or sparking or on fire, I was like, it smells like an electrical fire.
But it's probably got a nice musk in there. Like, Han?
Yeah.
Because it's not like I've never seen a shower on the Millennium Falcon.
No. At least in Star Trek,
even in schematics. Even in schematics, you don't see a shower.
It's true.
I don't know.
He's got a manly smell.
I'm sure. And then that
Wookiee, to say the very least.
That Wookiee's not getting any fresher.
Definitely a ship where you go nose blind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People walking like,
or armed to the teeth with Febreze.
That's probably why they didn't search it, like the cargo hold when it was in Empire, or was it Empire? They were sitting on the Death Star.
Well, that was New Hope.
No, New Hope. It was in the Death Star. They get in there and they're like,
what is
"Oh
that
my
smell?
God!" Yeah, we didn't find anything. Jeez.
They're like, do not check those compartments.
No,
it's in my pores.
I'm going to recycle this suit. That's why they found so many suits down in that recycler there. They were like, these are going in the garbage instantaneously.
Burn them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of Empire, Han has to point out how Tauntauns smelled terrible, not only on the inside but out.
You're right.
But he never once brings up how awful Chewie smells, or for that matter, him.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the temperature.
Chewie smells like
a Tauntaun.
Chewie eats a lot of curry. I could imagine Wookiees eating some pungent stuff.
Oh, absolutely. There's probably not much they don't stuff in their gullet.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. So, microtransactions, we're good with those going away for a little while. Yeah. Let's take a little break.
Right? From microtransactions.
Right.
Not from the show.
Yep.
And also,
you paused way longer than you should have when you said that. Let's take a little break. And then there was silence. I was like, I was looking for a cue. I know. I was like, what are we doing? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. But, Landon, there's something that occurred over the weekend that I know you've been waiting anxiously for years. And that was...
I think we all are.
We got our first teaser trailer for The Incredibles 2.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, God. Finally. It only took 19 Cars sequels, but Pixar is finally getting around to make a sequel to what I'm going to say is the best Pixar movie ever, period, The Incredibles.
Yeah, you put that as your number one. I wouldn't even have to ask.
I would agree.
Oh, yeah?
But it's really hard for me to say that because WALL-E is like... too hard to.
That's the thing. It's like, for me, Incredibles is number one, but the 2 spot could be given to so many movies. That speaks to the quality of what Pixar does put out. But another reason this is big, The Incredibles is the reason we got Iron Man and Thor and Captain America and Avengers and all of these other movies, because Marvel realized, wait, superheroes are selling? And and instead of deciding to, do their own Incredibles universe, they just went and bought the biggest name in comic books in Marvel, because that's what a company of Disney's size can do. But if it wasn't for the Incredibles and it wasn't for the success and the support that the Incredibles got, I don't think Disney would have gone after Marvel. I mean, sure, of course, they could have decided we need to go after that same, age demographic eventually. That's why they went after and got Star Wars and all the Lucas stuff. But at the same time, they went and got Marvel before they went and got Lucasfilm. So I truly believe this. If it was not for The Incredibles, we would not have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And by that proxy, I don't know if we'd have the DC Cinematic Universe. So The Incredibles is an extremely important movie. A, not only because, like I said, it set up everything that came. B, it's just such a damn good movie. And I'll be honest, they've been saying, oh yeah, Incredibles 2 is coming for a while. Trust us, it's coming. Yeah, it's one of those things like, okay, yeah, sure, buddy. I'll believe it when I see it. We now have a trailer. It doesn't show us a ton. It just shows Jack has powers, and Mr. Incredible is really happy about that. But at the same time, this is now a reality. This is coming, and it's coming next year.
Yeah. Well, but building on what you were saying, though, the fact that they found that people really responded well to The Incredibles, it was a huge hit, not just for kids, but adults loved it too. Why did it take so long to go back?
Because they know they can print money with Cars and all the 7 Mater spin-off movies, and if you just put Cars on anything, it'll sell.
Yeah, well, I guess that's true. And
there's some big names in it, though, too. Oh, well, big names. I mean, Craig T. Nelson probably isn't the biggest name we've ever heard of.
Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson, which has always said he will return to Frozone. Always.
Yeah.
So that's kind of saying something about that movie, too, is that somebody that iconic and already the Marvel world, the Star Wars world, I'm pretty sure Disney just has an ongoing contract with him, but it's just like, we've got all these movies, just put your name where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in all the properties.
Pretty much,
he's crossed everything.
Wait a minute. I have a new theory.
Save it.
He is.
That's for another show.
Sam Jackson Tower, just saying.
He's the Detective Munch of the Disney universe.
Yes. There you go. I don't know. It's interesting that all these people still will do it regardless. I can't remember who played the mom. Seems like
was
she
it
was
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. You're right. I was about to say. It seemed like it was somebody who'd done quite a bit also.
Yeah. So Eric is excited about this too. One of our favorite fans out there interacts with us all the time, Eric Lehman, at Luke Knows BJJ. When we posted the Incredibles teaser out there, he said, it's about time. This is one of the best Pixar movies. They wait all this time for a second. And so we agree, obviously, but I did challenge him a bit, and I asked him to give us a top 5 Pixar list. Here's his, and I guess it's in order because he said this first one is his favorite. He said Toy Story, Incredibles, Monsters, Inc., A Bug's Life, and Wall-E. So I think that's a strong list.
It's a strong list.
I might reorder things just a little bit because
I'd dump Bug's Life. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not like in my top 5.
That's one that is pretty debatable. It's just one of the early ones. Like, wasn't it one of the first?
Toy Story needs to be up there, but I think we're so far departed from it that it's hard to have it at the top. Even though
Toy Story is a heavy hitter.
I can watch it all day, though. I could watch. It's one of those ones if they ran on TNT all day long. It's one of those ones I could sit and watch 30 minutes, get up, do something, come back and watch.
And that one's still got legs. They're going to make another one of those.
Oh yeah. 4's coming out soon.
I got to tell you, I loved Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. when it first came out, and I still can watch. That's another one I can sit down with. There seems like there's one that's eluding me though.
Why is there no love for Up?
Oh, I love Up. I love the angry old man.
So Up is missing from the list, and also the newest or one of the newer ones, Inside Out.
Inside Out's okay, but it's not one of mine.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people responded well to that one. I think it's pretty emotional.
It's emotional and very dynamic.
Yeah,
it was a great movie, but it didn't resonate like some of the other Pixar movies did with me. And it's like and this is the first time I've ever said this, and I never thought I'd say this. I tried to get through The Good Dinosaur, not my jams.
Oh my god! First of all, let me just tell you, that movie is one of the saddest on-purpose movies I've ever seen. Like, I feel like the whole thing, they're just like, you're gonna cry. It's gonna happen at some point. and we're watching you. Yeah. We're watching. It's gonna happen. Here it comes. I see a little tear over there, and you're like, I'm not crying. I just yawned and my eyes. Yeah. But Ratatouille not on the list.
Ratatouille's really good, and I think it's underrated.
Good.
Finding Nemo.
I like Finding Nemo, but I'm going to tell you, Finding Dory was so much better.
You would put that above?
I would put it above because the jokes were so much better.
See, I think Finding Dory moved quicker.
But without Finding Nemo, it doesn't have the background that I need to understand the jokes. That's what makes it funny. So it's kind of one of those. I think I would put them together. I would say the Finding... the togetherness, which I think there's another one of those coming out with the octopus.
Is there really?
Yeah, they're gonna. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or it's going to be one of those kind of like the Penguins went.
Well,
or the Minions.
The Minions, right?
Now, is Zootopia?
Yeah, I wanted to mention that's my favorite Pixar movie is The Minions,
that is not a
followed
Pixar
by
movie.
Shrek 7, Shrek Harder, and then
Shrek Harder.
Father. That was a good one.
Still
and
Shrekking.
The Bee Movie.
So
those are my favorite Pixar movies.
Nice.
All right, so let me get in on this because I haven't committed to anything yet, but I would tell you, and I was just kind of reviewing a list to see what we missed. One of the ones that I forget about is Brave. That's a Pixar movie.
I never watched it, and I know it's not bad. Actually, it sets off the whole Pixar theory. If you guys want to research that is a rabbit hole that you can fall into forever. But that's what kicks that off.
I was surprised to see it actually because I was thinking that was a Disney animation movie, but that's in there. So I would say for me, and there's a couple reasons. One, sentimental. WALL-E's number one on my list. One of the reasons is it's the first movie that Garrett went to in the theater.
Oh, okay. So you have an emotional tie.
And let me just tell you, at the time, let me see the year that WALL-E came out because I think Garrett was just like 2 or 3 years old when we went.
I think he's 4 because Journey saw it when she was 6.
So here's WALL-E, and they don't have a year associated with it. But I'm thinking if I just had to guess, I would think that movie came out in 2009.
2008 is what I'm going to say.
If only there was a device that we could.
God, if there was even a website that we could use to find this information.
Yeah, I'm working with it right now, asking the Googs. So WALL-E came out in 2008.
I got it.
Yeah, nailed it. So, and it was June. So actually, Garrett was 2. He was almost 3.
Okay, I was going to say.
He was almost 3 at the time. But for a movie that for, what would you say, 90% of it has no dialogue?
Nothing. Yeah.
It kept him engaged, like, the whole time.
The visuals are amazing. That's what I will say about WALL-E is why I like it so much, is it's just visually stunning. It's one of the very few, like, Pixar movies I'm like, this I have to have in Blu-ray. I have to have this in the highest res I can have.
It's beautiful. And Pixar, I think, for all the great things that they do with storytelling, one of the amazing things they do is they can generate emotion from inanimate objects better than any company I've ever seen. It's ridiculous, And you've got these 2 robots.
One that's in the
really,
friend zone.
Really can't. Yeah, friend zone. Neither one of them can emote very well, but you can feel what's happening in that story. It's amazing. So I'd put WALL-E number 1 for me, and I think 2. If I was going to put something up there, it'd probably be Toy Story. I think 3 would be. That's tough. Monsters Inc. I really like Monsters Inc. a lot.
Yeah, it was great when it came out, and all of them. I'd say you could sit down and watch it. You can literally sit down and watch any of these at any point in time in the movie.
I would put Incredibles at 4.
I feel guilty for not including Up because I do love Up.
So it's not in my top 5, and
it is in mine.
And then my 5th one, I think I would go. I probably get some hate for this. I enjoy Cars.
I like Cars.
So I'd put the first Cars. I thought was really good.
No, the first Cars was fine, and the world it set up was really cool. About how we don't even get explained how it got to this point where there are human monuments, but they've been carified. Yeah. I think that is cool.
Yeah. So
now, everything past that and Mater and whatever, fine. But yeah, the original Cars was cool.
So here's what I think about Up. I don't know that it's even in my top 10, but it's tough because all these Pixar movies are amazing. So even saying it's not in the top 10 doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's just that the first 10 minutes of that movie are ridiculously emotive. Like
breaks your heart within the first 10 minutes.
And destroys you.
Yeah, it absolutely destroys you. They don't even need to take much time to build up any kind of emotional connection to Carl and God. No, like it just
the minute spoiler alert, he loses his wife.
Yeah,
all bets are off.
Sad.
Yeah,
it's off. It's over.
Yeah,
I'm done.
What The Good Dinosaur did for an hour and a half, this movie did in 10 minutes. But there are moments that I'm pretty bored watching Up. Like I don't know.
There's a lot of walking.
There's a lot of walking, and it has some good moments, but there are moments in the middle, and I don't like the talking dog.
Oh, I love the talking dog.
I don't like him.
Why do you hate Doug?
I don't like Doug.
Doug likes you.
I know.
Doug loves Master.
Doug loves Master.
But the end of it, I think, is cool. The whole blimp action. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, that's what I would say.
I feel like it's a good quest movie.
I guess.
It is.
To me. And then the comic togetherness between him and that boy, who he does not like at all ever.
He does.
Russell.
Eventually.
He does like
He likes
Russell.
the company, but he never wants to admit to it. Like,
Yeah.
he's so sour on live. He's like, no one else can be in it.
It's really more he just doesn't want to admit it. He just wants to be grumpy, closed off emotionally because of what happened with his wife.
Exactly.
So, anyway.
Well, and that's part of the reason why I have Up at number 5. I like it, but Pixar's done better. Number 4 for me is WALL-E, for reasons y'all previously mentioned. Number 3, Toy Story.
Okay.
Number 2, Toy Story 2.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. And then number 1, The Incredibles.
Yeah. I didn't want to put Toy Story twice in my top 5. Toy Story 2 is really good, and it's hard for me to put Toy Story 2 in my top 5 without mentioning Toy Story because it wouldn't exist without the first one. But it is really good.
It is good.
It is one of those cases where maybe the sequel was better than the original. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It just based on my ranking, I would agree with you. And part of the reason I do say that is because, to me, that's when the Toy Story universe became complete. Because Toy Story, the original, was great, but you didn't realize you were missing Bullseye and Jessie.
Yeah.
And then once you were introduced to those characters, you're like, okay, yes, these need to be part of the fold. These I like the fact that they are now one with the family.
I think with Toy Story, it's hard. I think it's hard to pick between them because they introduce a new world to you every time. Mm-hmm. The first one introduced a child's room and what's happening. The second one introduces the collector's game and what happens at a store, new to old. And then the third one introduces what happens when you lose touch with your toys.
When you grow up.
Where do they go? And it was, I love that they touched every world. And it's like, here's the good, here's the bad.
Yeah.
You
take them both.
3 almost made my list, too.
They are the facts of life.
Well, and I will openly admit it. The end of 3 had me just sobbing.
Oh my God!
Don't even get me started.
Oh my God!
The incinerator. I was losing my mind. I was like, if this is how this ends, I'm walking out this theater now.
No, it can't end this way, and thank God it didn't. But I was just an emotional wreck at that point.
I gotta say,
I was up out of my seat. Like, I was already about to stand up, and I don't remember who I was with. I was like, if they die in this incinerator, I am out that door.
I will have to say that when that was happening, and the toys joined hands, and they were accepting their fate.
Yeah, this is how we go out.
I also was a sloppy mess at that point, but I was thinking to myself, "Holy crap! If Pixar does this, what balls?" That is some
absolutely
serious balls.
That would have been huge cojones right there.
Yeah, here are all the guys you love burning alive.
Yeah. Not only did we kill them, we're going to watch them melt.
Hey, is this your kid? Do you like your kid's psychosis? Watch me screw it up.
Exactly. Good. Hey, send us your therapy bill.
Absolutely. Let me show you how expensive therapy can be.
Yeah.
Man, if we thought Disney was pissed at EA for the reaction they're getting with Battlefront 2, I could only imagine what they would have been like when they got the working script and they saw that Pixar killed off every character.
Oh, yeah.
We're burning this bitch down.
Yes.
Maybe that was the rough draft. And somebody at Disney goes, oh, no, you cannot do this.
We cannot let Mickey see this. He will legit kill John Lasseter.
On his birthday?
I was about to say, was Lasseter alive? Because he wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
He would have been hanging over probably a 7-story balcony by his ankles by Mickey and Goofy.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy would have also taken over for Pixar at this point.
So I was just going to say, Toy Story, the original, came out in 95. So I was 13.
I went and saw it in the theater.
Landon was 10. You were in the theater.
I saw that
95?
in
95.
I was 16.
You were 16. So Landon and I were still closer to the age where we still were playing with action figures and stuff like that. So
no, to be fair, I was still playing with action figures when I was like 22. So.
I've still got action figures. Yeah. But anyway,
somewhere.
I was just saying a lot of people in our age group kind of grew up with Andy. So we watched this story, and so it was pretty emotional watching the whole going to college. And I got to tell you, even after the incinerator scene when he gave his toys to the girl, that was
that's the exact same thing.
Still emotional.
It was emotional to let go. Yeah, I mean,
well, I'm not crying nearly as much as 10 minutes ago. But thanks, guys.
I had kind of a workshopping of what this next one could be, and my thing is the only answer that I could see him going forward with is that he comes back with his own kids, and somehow that girl gives those toys back to him. as she goes to college and has outplayed them, and then you add her cast of characters to the cast
Maybe
of characters.
some new
The new toys. Maybe Slinky Dog doesn't make
iPhone.
it. Yeah, her iPhone. Yeah, and that's what's probably taken over because in that realm, I don't think cell phones is a big thing in 3.
No, it's really
so, which it's probably one of those cell phone-us, whatever you want to call it, the black hole of cell phones because they have it.
Cell phones ruin everything.
They do ruin everything, even our own lives. But I think the next phase of that I can only think of is that his kids get these toys. Yeah. So these toys are kind of dealing with, Andy is a grown up, and now we're with his kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And how that reaction is, and then they're battling like iPhones, they're battling tablets, they're battling console systems.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Maybe the console system is a character.
You're describing Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're getting to
I think that's the digital age. That's the digital age.
That's where we're going.
But that's being in the game.
Yeah.
These are on the outside. Okay. Like Wreck-It Ralph is happening, and they're like, "What's this? This is garbage."
Just because you're a bad guy does not make you bad the guy.
And then Wreck-It Ralph isn't Pixar, right?
No, it's not. It's Disney.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of good ones.
Disney animated.
Yeah, a lot on the fringes.
It's starting to get kind of blurry because Disney animation is looking strangely like Pixar movies now.
Sure
like you go watch Moana, that looks like a Pixar movie.
I was about to say, if Bob is good at Pixar and he's a part of our property, I'm going to go get Bob to animate.
And they're sharing technology, too.
Absolutely they are. Why wouldn't you? They bought that technology.
Yeah, they own it. So.
Okay, so that means the best Pixar movie is Frozen, you guys.
Ew.
That's a debate for another day.
Yeah, I could go 2 hours and a half on that.
and about 15 minutes in, I would just say, dude, let it go.
It would take 15 minutes to get there?
Which button is his mic? Which button is his mic? You're about to be talk boxed. Even though we make a top 5, you could watch one and not the other, and then one would jump the other. The only one that's like your number one is your number one. I think is going to stay.
Yeah, yeah, you probably would switch them around a little bit.
I would. I can sit here and shuffle these all day long. The more you guys talk about it, and the more that comes to my brain, it's like, well, I did like that part more than so.
Yeah, that I'll gladly admit to while y'all were talking, I was looking at I think maybe Monsters Inc. was better than Up.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the music in Monsters Inc. That's one of my favorites. It's all jazzy.
Oh, yeah. I like the characters. Yeah. Like, I guess Billy Crystal, Mike Wazowski is probably the funniest one. Yeah.
John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman. I like John Goodman, but I didn't like him as much as I like Billy Crystal just freaking out every 5 minutes.
Do you think that there's somewhat diminishing returns on the franchise with all the sequelification of this? I mean, obviously, I think there is with Cars, but even Toy Story, we're not talking about getting a fourth one. Monsters U, was that really a necessary sequel? Finding Dory again, ... because she's forgetful, remember, coming soon. I mean, like, do you think there is a diminishing return with them just putting so many of these out?
I don't think so. For the simple fact, maybe in theaters they're going to see the numbers not be what they wanted, but those Blu-ray sales, think about how many people have those stupid clamshells. I mean,
that is true, but it's like, at least for me, it's like Monsters, Inc., if it was just a standalone movie, it might have been ranked higher because Monsters U, I mean, it was a good movie. It just didn't really resonate with me.
I liked Monsters U, too, but I'm with you. I'm like, it wasn't a story that you had to tell.
I think it's pretty interesting that after the debacle that was Cars 2, that they decided to go back to the well and make Cars 3. And actually...
They made Planes, too, didn't they?
Well, Planes actually isn't Pixar.
Really?
Yeah,
it's a totally separate thing. Yeah.
Yep.
I've always thought that those worlds were together.
I did, too. It's a separate thing, and it's terrible.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Ever waste your
Let's
time
not pretend that I watched that.
You want to talk about a movie that I was checking my watch and dozing off? Planes.
Wait, you actually saw Planes?
At home, yeah, we watched it.
He's checking his watch.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Oof.
Yeah,
maybe we should have a meter of check your watch movies. It's like
how many
watch checks did you make on how bad it was?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad thought. That could be a new ranking system. But Cars 3, I thought was a pretty decent movie. Cars 2. No one liked, because they did a whole separate thing. Like Vader was a secret agent, and
oh, good God,
yeah, it was Very bizarre. Cars 3 was really going back to the roots of what Cars was supposed to be, so it was pretty good.
Ka-chow.
And they introduced like a new character to kind of take the mantle.
Wow.
So, yeah, we actually ka-chow is a pretty common phrase in this house. We enjoy using that when appropriate.
Okay.
So
when appropriate.
I don't know when that's happening in your house, but
when McKenna comes in and does a sweet power slide into the kitchen, she has to throw up the double guns and say ka-chow.
Absolutely. That's appropriate.
Does she
that does
throw her elbows out like car doors and be like, ka-chow, for pictures?
She's getting a lightning tattoo on her face.
Number 88.
Yeah. But I would say it's kind of like the Shrek thing. And actually, not only Shrek, but Despicable Me.
Oh, Despicable Me you talk about diminishing returns. I don't know how much more they can push that one.
But it's not diminishing for them.
True. I'm just saying, for me it is. It's like, I don't care anymore.
You don't, but the kids do.
I know.
Oh, yes.
But, I mean, they might as well just say Minions and Despicable Me now.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about him.
I mean, that's why we've had standalone Minions movies, just because of that right there. But then DreamWorks realizes they can double dip out of the same pool if they make a Minions movie and a Despicable Me 9.
True.
So if you want to talk about maybe storytelling diminishing, I might agree with you, but their return on investment is not diminishing. They make a ton of movie when they know they have a hit franchise. Mm-hmm. I mean, by the way, of course we're getting a Frozen 2 because it's one of the highest grossing.
I'm surprised it has
films.
taken this long.
Like it's
yeah,
under
me
development.
too, honestly.
So that's going to happen.
I'm surprised we didn't have 17 freaking straight to DVD
until they. I would say you would keep getting sequels on stuff like this until they put one. Well, either A, the principal actors won't do it,
right,
or B, they put one out that just is somewhat disappointing.
You would think that on the actors, but they do so many TV shows that are offshoots of these movies that they use different people anyway. Yeah. So it's kind of like the kids don't notice.
Yeah.
Kids don't notice. We might, but the kids don't because they get more Elsa and Olaf and the reindeer's name that I forgot.
Sven.
Belky?
Reindeery, the reindeer.
No, it's Sven.
It's Belky.
It's not Balky.
Balky Bartokomous?
It's not Balky.
We don't have enough Balky Bartokomous in our life. I just want you to know. Cousin. Sorry.
It's been a long time since I've thought about Perfect Strangers.
The only reason I did is because somebody brought it up to me. And it was like, do you remember the show where the guys were cousins and they lived together? I was like, TV show, right? We're not talking about some movie you watched on the internet, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, Perfect Strangers then.
What have y'all not heard about the new Netflix series, the dark gritty reboot, Perfect Stranger Things?
You know what? Nice. I want to see that.
Belky goes to Upside Down now.
He's from Upside Down World. He just calls it. What was it? Oh, what was the name of his country?
Oh God,
This is a question, buddy.
That's a good one.
I did not mean to send us down into this rabbit hole, y'all.
It's okay though. That country's the Upside Down World. We'll just leave it at there.
I've got a better spinoff. Bring in Helen Hunt with Paul Reiser and call it Mad About Demogorgons.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pretty much that character anywhere.
He's Paul Reiser.
He's Paul Reiser. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I trusted him a lot less on Stranger Things.
Oh, the minute I saw him, I was like, the guy's a snake. Yeah. Straight snake. Yeah. You're wearing a lab coat, you're a snake.
Yeah. He was a bad guy. Kind of. He made a little bit of a turn.
Not as bad as old Hot Rod.
But anyway, we can't get into it too much. I know you're not done yet.
I'm not done yet.
So, by the way, next week, I just want to put this out there. Next week, our Stranger Things 2 review show is going to drop. So, we're going to, in place of regular programming, we're going to give you a Stranger Things 2 review. So look for that next week at all your usual outlets. So
outlet malls.
Yeah. No, it won't be at the outlet.
It's sporting goods.
Until we put it, we're going to release it on cassette tape.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
You got to go pick it up.
That would be a good way to do it. Except no one could listen.
Justin will be with his trunk open at the mall if you want to get a mixtape.
Available at all pilots nationwide.
Nice.
So look for that.
It would also have my demo tape attached to it.
Tape, yeah.
All right, hold on, guys. We're going a little bit long today. Why don't we just put a pin in this? And I say we pick it back up exactly where we stopped on Thursday. But I don't even want you guys to do your plugs. I'll do them for you because I don't want to interrupt your thoughts. All right. Now for Matt, you want more of Matt? And you know you want more of Matt. You can go check out Tracking Trek Podcast, where he and his buddy Thomas break down every episode of Star Trek Discovery one at a time for your listening pleasure. That's Tracking Trek Pod, and it's at Tracking Trek Pod on Twitter. Landon, I mean, what can I say? You can go to buttmuchchips.com. That's where you can find everything Landon related. In particular, you will find the Game of Thrones podcast, otherwise known as Got Talk, where he and Hunter East break down every episode of the latest season of Game of Thrones. You will also find the Butt Munch Chips variety pack as well. He's at Landaws on Twitter. And once again, that's Butt Munch Chips. Sit on your butt and munch. All right, and as far as this podcast, you know you can find us on Twitter. That's at nerd_news_cafe, Facebook, website, nerdnewscafe.com, Gmail, nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. You can find us all over the place. You can listen to us once again when we pick this up on Thursday. Until then,
in transmission.